Oh my god. Yo, I knew Jonathan Majors was gonna fucking crush it. I didn't think he was gonna crush it that hard. First off, this movie hit every note I needed Kang to hit. Now, is it kind of, I don't know, a Pyrrhic victory? Especially with the way in which this Kang went out, knowing what we know towards the end, but we'll get to that in a second. But I needed him to just bitch Ant-Man, where he was just like, stop, get over here, go over there, I will shred your daughter and trap you in a time loop where you will watch her die endlessly, and then once you beg me to kill you, that is the only time I will end your death. He's not gonna end like I'm telling you right now, if Kang's whole thing was to like kill Cassie and have Scott watch as she dies over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, when Scott begs him to basically put him out of his misery, the Kang from the comic books is just gonna put his ass right back in that time loop. Like, there's no way that he's like, what we should do is now that you seem as though you're highly repentant about, you know, not doing what I wanted you to do, I'm gonna set, nah, my boy, there ain't no being set free. You going right back into that time loop to watch your daughter die. I love the fact that he established before Scott that he has been bodying Avengers, where he was just like, what you finna do, Ant-Man? Like, are you the one with the hammer? Oh, he killed Thor. Like, that's not even up for debate. I need to see him body the Avengers. Cross the board 100%. Bring them all back. Bring everybody back. Bring the whole original roster back. Bring Tony Stark back. I need to see Kang fight the entire roster of the Avengers and then just put them to dust. Call it a day. Now, picking up from the beginning, I liked his relationship with Janet. Like, it establishes the fact that she was marooned in the quantum realm when she went subsonic. He was marooned in the quantum realm when the other Kang has got tired of his shit. And, you know, knowing what you know at the end of the movie, going back to the beginning of the movie when, like, you see whatever it is come into the quantum realm, and you see when his orb gets detached and he just gets dropped in there. Knowing what you know now, it's just like two Kangs just kind of like picked him up by the arms, flew him down in the quantum realm, yeeted him off of their ship, and then just kept it moving back to the main universe. Like, get your ass down there. Always causing everybody problems. I like the fact that he was the rogue Kang. That, like he said, I know the myriad paths that the timeline will take. I know that the other variants of me are extremely dangerous and need to be destroyed. The fact that there was a rogue Kang that basically disagreed with all of the other Kangs in the council and was like, nah, all y'all gotta go. I got smoke with everybody. Everybody gotta go. That's great. I fucking love that. I'm hoping that he's not dead, because we saw that when Scott basically went inside of his energy sphere, he was basically inside of like I think he called it like a probability point, where what could be happens and what should not have happened also happens. I'm a pull from Doctor Who. It's basically when during the Time War there were meanwhiles and never weres, and then the king that never was, where basically because of time collapsing in on itself, beings who should not exist existed, and then beings who basically should never have been able to come into existence also came into existence. Like, for instance, when Baskin-Robbins Scott shows up, which is friggin' great. I love that Baskin-Robbins Scott is the Scott that gives Scott the extra boost to attempt to get to the top, and then it was Hope that came in and swooped in and saved them. But going back to Kang and Janet's, basically their relationship, I like the fact that I don't even think he played her it really feels as though this version of Kang got close to her. She basically became his first friend. And it was her touching the neural nexus and seeing everything that he's done and everything that he was going to do. And there's that moment of almost regret, which I've said it before, man. Jonathan Majors is friggin' great, but there's that moment of regret on Kang's face where he almost regrets that she saw him for who he actually was, that he wasn't able to basically take her back to her daughter and then continue on his way, that he basically lost someone that he got really close to because she got into his head and see who he was. I like that. But then at the exact same time, I like how instantaneously cold and murderous he became. Once she was a threat to him basically escaping the quantum realm, it was no longer, okay, this is a friend. Because he even still kind of low-key attempts to talk her down, which it's super great when he gets the suit back and then all of a sudden he's just like, yeah, no, that miniaturizing shit don't work on me. Bick, like, get your ass up. Whoop, like, give me my goddamn orb. Bop. Like, that's great. Like, that's some Kang level time tech where it's just like, yeah, Infinity Stones, things that require you to move at like a relative speed means nothing to me. I can freeze the entire universe, revert time to like right before you did your thing, kill you, take what I need, and then I'll be on my way. Because the Infinity Gauntlet is nothing but a toy. Like, it's a worthless toy. It's a worthless tool that I do not need because I sit above the timeline. I like the fact that they explained just how dangerous he was and the fact that he'd just been like annihilating Kangs and whole timelines before they chucked his ass inside that prison. Her detonating the thing and trapping him there, great. I love, oh my god, I completely forgot her name. And I really don't want to just keep calling her Janet, but we're just going to keep calling her Janet. I love the PTSD, Michelle Pfeiffer, that she basically has in regards to Kang, where everyone's asking her about the quantum realm. She's never giving out any information about it. Once she realizes that Cassie is sending a signal down to the quantum realm, she freaks and instantly smashes the machine because she's terrified, and Hope can see that she's terrified. Everyone can see that she's terrified, but she's not explaining why she's terrified. Then you get down there and you understand the reason why, because the boogeyman is like literally living in a pocket universe right beneath your feet. Great. That's dope as hell. The ants. So when they first introduced the ants and he was like, oh no, I'm not doing anything, I basically gave them the tech and they've been building their own empire. I was like, them ants is finna come in handy towards the end of this movie. I don't know when they coming back, but I know one thing, they're gonna come in handy. When Scott's falling in, he crashes into the ant nest, and the ant nest goes off in a different direction. When that happened, I was like, them ants is coming back. I don't know when, they coming back. So when Michael Douglas is basically walking around with the thing in his ear and he keeps hearing the chittering, I was like, those ants are out there. And knowing the quantum realm, they probably got trapped in like some flash forward loop where they've been gone for like X amount of time and they've built themselves an empire. Exactly what happened. I love that payoff. I love that the ones who came through to like, and I love the fact that we kind of got hints of that when they meet Bill Murray's character and he's like, wait, are there no ants down here? Blah, 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 blah. I was like, oh, there's finna be ants down here, Playboy. You're about to know exactly what an ant looks like. Talk about a wasted character. Oh my god. Like, he shows up in classic Bill Murray fashion. He looks absolutely fantastic. And then 10 seconds later, he gets taken out by a giant tentacle thing. And it's like, that's a waste of a character. That character doesn't even come back. Now, a waste of another character, MODOK. I read the leaks that said that it was going to be Aaron Cross. He looks horrible. Like, here's the thing. I don't think you can make a MODOK that looks good. Like, I don't think that you can actually make one that when the the armor goes away and all you see is his like actual face, that's not gonna make you crack up. He looks so bad that it's actually good, where it's not bad in like a bad way. It's bad the way you would expect MODOK to look, because he's just a giant head sitting on like a normal sized body with arms and tiny legs. So I thought he looked great. I thought that when he first comes in to capture Scott and Cassie, that whole sequence was dope as shit. Like, I love that entire sequence from start to finish, where he's just running through everyone. I like the fact that like every time he took off the mask and people saw him for who he actually was, they were like, Darren? Like, how are you alive? I love that bit continues when Scott ends up inside of the singularity, and he's like, Darren, I'm in. Darren? MODOK, are you there? He was like, why, yes, I am there. And it's like, that's good, genuine humor that I really wasn't like expecting from it. Now, in regards to MODOK, like I said, character is wasted, because the character could have stayed in the quantum realm and probably became a threat later on. Instead, the character kind of like dies off after like he gets hit with a Takano Jutsu. Like, oh my god, like, it's never that easy. My man's been down here doing villainous shit for who knows how long. He's been Kang's attack dog for how many years, and one little girl who was written poorly in this movie shows up and gives him like a basic ass speech talking about don't be a dick, and all of a sudden my man is like, you know what, I regret all of my villainous ways. Like, I regret attempting to kill you as a child. I regret killing that guy inside the bathroom. I regret trying to take over Hank Pym's company. I regret killing how many thousands of people in the name of Kang. I regret trying to run around and kill you for the last 5 minutes. You know what? I'm not a dick. I'm a good guy. No, you are a bad guy. Stay a bad guy. Like, Kang's no longer down there. Like, Kang bitched him when he showed up and he started trying to speak, and Kang was like, whoop! I've already told you, when I am speaking, you are to remain silent. Put my man against a wall. He was struggling. I felt bad for him. I was like, damn, Kang got you on a leash like that? Like, he disrespecting you like that down here, Darren? What happened, Darren? Like, what's going on here, Darren? But that's a waste of a character. That's a waste of a character that I wish could come back. I did not like the way in which his character went out at all. Now, that possibility space where they were like, you know, it's a nexus of possibility, like you're not seeing a version of you, you're seeing a possible version of you in the future. That was dope, and that was trippy as hell. Like I said, in the spoiler-free review, was it spoiler-free review or was this review? It's super late, I'm really sorry, but it's really a lot of, like, as a Whovian, as a Doctor Who guy, all I saw was Time War. I was like, yeah, meanwhiles, never wheres, King that never was. All the different variants of Scott that could be, that could not be, the ones that were cowardly, the ones that were super, super brave. I like the fact that they were arguing with each other about who's real, and the thing that didn't duplicate in there was the earpiece. Once they heard Cassie and knew that Cassie was the one who really, really needed them, they all rallied around the actual real Scott to try and get him to the objective. And then it was Hope that basically swoops in later on to save them, to get them the hell up out of there. The Resistance people, I'm not gonna remember them. Like, I'm not gonna remember them at all. Like, there's like that one Resistance chick and that one Resistance guy, and I was just kind of like, okay, you guys are here, but like, I don't care. That you're trying to fight a revolution against Kang, and your story, it really isn't as interesting at all, because you're probably going to get saved by some Deus Ex Machina. At that point in time, I didn't know that it was Deus Ex Ants, but here we are. Like, it basically played out for them the way in which I figured that it was going to play out for them. Then the rest of the movie kind of like follows what I kind of expected was going to happen. I said it before a while back when I did the review for the first Ant-Man trailer. I said that trailer was bad. I stand by it because it showed a lot of the third act, and I feel as though if we never got that trailer and it was basically bits, or should I say other bits from the movie, it would have been a whole lot better. But knowing that eventually Scott and Kang were going to get into a fist fight, having Kang drop down and just like boss everybody for a bit until the technologically superior ants basically show up and start whooping his ass, like that was fucking great. I like the fact that even though he was willing to kill everyone else, he still took Janet with him, because that goes back to what I said before of like, it's like a sick relationship where she may just be the closest thing that he actually has to a fucking friend, and he wanted to show her basically what he was finna do to all of these other fucking Kangs. We're gonna get to that in a second. But the final fight with Ant-Man was dope as hell. I really wish that he had done a Captain America reference when he picked up the top of the dome and he was using it as a shield. But watching him run around, watching Cassie also go big, them having the father-daughter moment where she says, wow, do you want to have like lemon slices? And it's a callback to Civil War when he was like, anybody has orange slice, and he's like, what is it with like us when we go big in citrus? Like, that was great. I love that little moment. Didn't really like a lot of the rest of the moments with Cassie. I really feel as though Cassie's writing was bad, like really bad, to the point that she might walk away being the most disliked character from this movie. I'm really hoping that that's not the case, because like I said, harassing an actor for them having to read bad lines that are written for them is a scummy thing to do, but they really did her dirty in this movie for this movie to be her breakout movie where a new actress is basically taking over, which that kind of makes me happy that it wasn't Emma Furman that had to read those lines, but hey, here we are. I didn't like Cassie's character arc at all. I feel as though there was a more interesting arc for her that they chose not to go with, and they chose to be like, oh, we're gonna make her like a Greenpeace rebel, but at the exact same time she's like a super genius. No, you don't need to do both. You can make it so that, hey, in the last 5 years when everybody was dusted, I was scared. I came to the Pym home all the time. I went through all of she calls him Grandpa Pym because she's basically been with him for so long, but she's like, you know, I went through like all of his tech. I learned about Pym particles and how to create them and replicate them. I learned everything about the quantum realm because I was trying to replicate the experiment in hopes of bringing you guys back. But I kept on failing. When you guys came back, Grandpa Pym, Grandma Janet, you know, they showed me all of basically what I was missing and filled in the gaps, and I was able to create this thing that sends a signal down to the quantum realm. Way better story for her character, because it could have showed us what Cassie was up to while Scott was trapped in the quantum realm for those 5 years. Like, she didn't just sit around in the house doing nothing. Like, she actively tried to hopefully find her father, or find Janet, or find Hank, or find Hope, find somebody to basically like make her world make sense. The decision to make her like a Greenpeace activist and then have her argue with Scott about staying down here, I was like, bitch, we just got here. Like, what? We just got here. And that lady just said that because we are here, we are putting them in danger. What do you mean by we need to join the resistance and assist them in helping and blah, 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 and you aren't doing anything because you're Avenger? First off, woo, I couldn't have been a daddy. I couldn't have been a daddy. Because the second you start talking to me about other people are doing things and you're not doing anything, first off, I'm the reason we won. Okay? Y'all may want to make jokes out here about, oh, he wrote a book and he's always bringing up the fact that like he saved the universe. Because I did save the universe, huh? Because if it wasn't for me using Pym particles, Tony Stark wouldn't be able to make us go back into the past to get the fucking Infinity Stones. I did that. I suggested the time heist. I'm the one who got the van working so that we could attempt to send back into the past. That was me. I did all this. I set this whole shebang up. The reason why we were able to be found that second time is because I set this whole story in motion. Technically, the rat set the whole story in motion because the rat hopped on the device and kind of brought him back. But like, the rat bringing me back is the reason why we got Hope and we were able to bring people who got snapped away back to our reality 5 years later. Don't downplay what I did. I'm a retired war hero, okay? I'm a retired vet. I fought in the Civil War. I fought with the Avengers in Endgame. This is my time to kick back and chill. How dare you? How dare you downplay my achievements? Like, the entire time she was hitting like Scott with like that spiel, I was like, the disrespect. Shame on you. Shame on your whole lineage. How dare you dishonor? Like, I turned into Mushu. I was like, dishonor. Dishonor upon your whole family. Dishonor on you. Dishonor on your mama. Dishonor on your stepdaddy. I have no idea who was taking care of you over these last 5 years, but dishonor on them too. Because Scott Lang deserves credit. Okay, across the board, 100%. That man deserves credit for what he did during Endgame. Because without him, we would have never got anything done. So her character arc annoyed me until like, I'd say like the last 2 minutes. And then I was like, okay, that's a little bit better. I can agree with that. Is he dead? Kang, I mean, maybe. I'm hoping not. Like, I'm really hoping not. But at the exact same time, if he is, that's okay. Because we've got other Kangs on the way. And I'm okay with that because we've got all the variants of Kang that are just absolutely diesel and dangerous. And the Egyptian version of Kang, which means that if he's here, Apocalypse is somewhere over there. So I don't know when you finna give me my X-Men movie, but I need you to hurry up and figure this out and deliver that pronto to me on time because I need that in my life expeditiously. That and the Fantastic Four. The final scene with Loki and Morpheus, that's just a setup for the next season of Loki. I'll make like a side video on that somewhere in the weekend, like deep diving it. But for the most part, like, that's it. I really don't want this to go like too long because, like I said, the story is more or less beat for beat, running straight forward. So there really isn't a reason to like linger for too long on like one notion. It's a super simple movie. Like, the premise is super simple. So yeah, we're gonna end the video right here. Let me know what you thought about the spoiler review. Let me know what you thought about Ant-Man Quantumania. Comment down below, and I will catch you in the next one. And I hope you're enjoying the new intro. Peace.